So, I just got to the mall, which on a Tuesday is not as busy, but I chose this place to do a Talking Headshot video because I wanted to overcome my fear by doing something in public, which is talking to my camera in public, which is not normal, but if you can learn how to overcome your fear and break down those barriers inside your head, then I guess it's a win, right? Man, I hate it when they put like hot food in styrofoam boxes. If I knew that they did this, then I would never get this, but I'm just so hungry because when you put hot food in styrofoam boxes, it melts and there's like toxic chemicals inside of the styrofoam box. It's not good for you, and whenever they put like hot sauce or sauces that are hot that inside of like these, then it can melt as well too. So I have no choice but to eat because I'm like so dang hungry. I don't know if this is like a mukbang, but man, I got fried rice with veggies and mushroom and green bean. Who knows? Yeah. So for this video, my assignment is to do this in public, to, like I said, to overcome that fear. And maybe after this week, I'm gonna sit down with my pen and paper and see if I can write down like a list of things that scares me or give me the anxiety or things that I'm afraid of, and start checking it off. That's the whole point of these exercises, is to learn how to overcome your fear by shooting this in public. I used to be an introvert and I used to be an introvert and always care about what the world thinks, because I was afraid that I would not please anybody. So I always tried to do things to please people. Then from there, then I would never be happy. So when I learned how to take my pen back and just have fun, I can see from my corner of my eye someone's looking at me, but I'm like, oh, they keep like turning their head and noticing me. But I'm gonna keep going because I probably won't ever see them again. The things that I've been saying, I probably won't remember, because right now I'm just going off of what I feel and what's in the moment and just telling stories. But today has been a good day. Today, it's day 2 of going to the gym consistently. Because before, I wasn't taking care of my health, which this is so bad. Like, I'm not supposed to eat this, but I'm just hungry. I just got off the phone with Stanley, one of my team partner in Creatopia, and I was showing him how to overcome your fear by doing scary things. And he was telling me that he's like a super introvert. He always shot these videos in his room. So he started shooting out in public. And I'm very proud of him because it's not easy from shooting from your room out in public. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of, not ambitious, but it takes a lot of fear out of you by doing it out in public. But once you learn how to do it out in public, then you start chasing that feeling of, yo, like I'm about to learn, like I'm about to grow. So what can I do, or how can I enhance this challenge, right? So I keep asking myself that same question, is like, how can I break down those barriers inside my head by not caring about what people think, and just hopefully use my story to inspire people. Because now that I've understand like all my trauma and my adversities, and I can use those stories Is it filming? Okay. Man, it's okay. How can I use my stories and shape it into a script or a storytelling format and just inspire people? Because, and plus, like doing these talking headshot videos, it helps me unlock a lot of new skill set, and it helps me unbottle my trauma, because I never had nobody to talk to about these things. Because the last 16 years of my sushi journey, it's been quite lonely. I've been so focused on trying to make my sushi boss happy, which I learned a lot, but I wasn't happy. But now that I have learned to appreciate that 10 years working for him, I've gained a lot of skills. Then right after him, then I met my ex-business partner, and he taught me a lot in that 2 years that we worked together. So 12 years of learning from 2 teachers. And what I've learned or what I've read was, hold on, my mom's calling. Dạ mẹ. No, con đủ em mẹ. Tí mẹ muốn mua giá không mua ở sao là mẹ? Dạ, ok. Ok, dạ mẹ. Mua khoảng 30 trái đi mẹ. Dạ, bye mẹ. So that was my mom. Yeah, so going back to, I saw this mini quote story that talks about when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is truly ready, the teacher will disappear. So I had 2 major teachers in my life, which was my sushi boss and my ex-business partner. And when I wanted to learn about sushi, my sushi boss showed up, and I worked for him for 10 years. And how that ended went pretty ugly, because I bought a sushi franchise from him and I ended up losing it. So the moment I lost it, I had a lot of trust issues, because I spent $50,000 on a franchise that I have nothing, that once I lost it, they gave me nothing, and everything was verbal, like nothing was on paper. So I can't sue them or anything. I can't take them to court. So super big mistake, right? But I was able to learn how to make sushi, which carried me on to my next venture. Was he introduced me to jiu-jitsu. So once I learned about jiu-jitsu, then I met some friends through that school, and I was introduced to veganism. Then from there, from vegan, then create a vegan brand, and from a vegan brand, then I've learned how to make videos. And from making videos, then now I'm sitting here doing this talking headshot video. I don't know, dude, right? It's such a crazy timeline. So after I lost the sushi bar franchise, I came across this guy that had a vegan food truck, a vegan ice cream food truck, and he said, hey, let's team up. And I didn't know that he was going to be my teacher, but he ended up did. He found me at my lowest point in my life when I lost everything. And I still remember, like, when we got the news, when the company, the sushi franchise company, got the news that we were all gonna lose the sushi bar, like, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks. I still remember. It was like the most heartbreaking feeling. So imagine your first love in high school or middle school, and you thought that you were gonna marry that person, and you end up breaking up, and you have like this whole dramatic moment. That's how I felt when I found out that I was gonna lose my sushi bar. It was very devastating. it was very heartbroken. I had developed trust issues. Then my ex-business partner, no, well, that was going to be my ex-business partner, ended up found me at my lowest point. Then he was able to persuade me. He was able to persuade me to teaming up together and on this venture to create this iconic vegan cafe. I worked with him for 2 years. Technically, I worked under him because he controlled everything. He controlled where we're going to do pop-ups at, but the only thing I could control is, no. Yeah, now that I thought about it, that he controlled everything. Whenever he needs something, he always make me pay, and I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars from the SBA loans to my savings to everything to invest into this brand. Then I ended up giving it up, walking away, finding peace. And if I didn't walk away, then I'll still be in Dallas miserable. So after I gave that up, I moved back to Houston into my parents' house. And after I moved back into my parents' house for that 2 weeks, I felt lost. I felt at my lowest point in life because I gave up everything. So if it wasn't for me to move back, then I would never discover my ghost kitchen where I'm at the moment. And how I discovered that was a good friend of mine named Kevin. He was a longtime friend, had a girlfriend that has a ghost kitchen in the Montrose area. So the Montrose area is like, what is it? Central of Houston, where everybody comes and it's like a foodie. It's like Central Houston. It's not like a foodie, but it's like a lot of hipster area. So I was able to rent out that place or a small section of their kitchen. It's a 10 by 10 room with a stainless steel table. And this is the story where I'm gonna talk about the most is, if it wasn't for that room, then I'll never learn about content. Because in that room, I was able to learn how to make cinematic content. I was able to learn how to speak to a camera. I was learning how to storytell. So everything happens in that room. And I'm very fortunate that it happened exactly the way it is. Hold on, I'm hungry, dude. So, if you ask me if I would change anything about my past, no. Everything happened in like the exact time. Everything happened when it's meant to be. I guess this is called God's divine time. I don't know, but so far everything worked out perfectly at the right time. And if it didn't work out, then I wouldn't be here in the middle of the mall with my camera out talking to this or to you or whoever's watching. This is crazy. I never thought I would do this because I was that kid that got bullied in middle school for my stutter, for my mumbling, for my fob accent. It was traumatizing. It was. I never wanted to speak on camera. I hated the way how I sound. I hated the way how I look. But for some reason, I'm sitting here doing this challenge. I came a long way. And that's where I always tell people, be proud of your journey. Have grace for yourself. Enjoy the process. Because one day when you look back and you be like, dang, dude, I came a long way. All right? So I'm excited about this month that I have an accountability partner that I can share my knowledge with. Because if you do content, you know how lonely it is. And I'm very grateful to have an amazing coach Ken, that ended up becoming a good friend of mine. Yeah, like it's been such a crazy last 6 months, right? I learned so much in the last 6 months that I learned that more than I learned in the last 5 years. Oh, yeah, the 5 years of doing content. But I always have this bamboo analogy. Imagine like you have this bamboo and you water it for the first 4 years, no matter how much you water it, no matter how much you nurture it, no matter how much you put it in the sunlight, it won't grow. But the 5th year, it suddenly starts to grow. And it'll start growing 30, 40, 50 feet within months. So, was it the first 4 years that you prepared and it never sprouts? Or was it the 5th year that it got lucky and it started sprouting? Same goes with life, same goes with business, same goes with your craft, your career. The first 4 years, it won't grow. And that's something I've learned in the last 5 years of doing this content. The last 5 years, the last 4 years, I was just working on my craft. I was just trying to get better at making videos. And this year is the 5th year of doing content. So if you put the pieces together, like this is the year where I've grown the most. So going back to the bamboo analogy, the first 4 years was just all preparation. Now I've come to a realization that this 5th year has been the most growth. How I tie everything together. And now, I don't know, man. It's just been a wild ride, and I've learned to accept the good and the bad. I've learned to appreciate the bad moments or the bad experiences, because those are where you learn the most. You don't learn as much as when you win, but you learn a lot from the preparation, the losses. And I've had a couple heavy losses in my journey, but that's where I learned the most. And I've understand that preparation meets opportunity. And I've been preparing for the last 4 years, and this year is my opportunity. Or not yet, but how I see it is I have grown into a whole different person this past 6 months. And we're in the last month of the year, and I'm excited for next year. I'm excited to where I can progress in my journey with this content thing, because I actually enjoy it. Like, I should have documented my journey in the last 16 years. I didn't get a chance to. But now that I've learned how to make a video, I learned how to speak to a camera, I learned how to storytell, everything is slowly coming together, which is pretty dope, because I've always tried to use my story to inspire people, to how can I structure my story to where it can hook people, right? So that's where I've understand, hold on, give me a second. But then I've understand that, I don't know, after Stanley told me that it's very hard to shoot these types of video in London because people will snag your phone, your camera. I have a pretty expensive setup right now, and I'm kind of worried that people will walk by and they can snag my camera. So I have 1 minute left of this, and yeah, so I'm gonna wrap this video up by saying, if you're battling with imposter syndrome, if you're battling with anxiety, if you're battling with overthinking, how I was able to overcome that was going out and doing scary things. I tried skydiving, and through skydiving, I've learned that fear is never real. Fear is just this imaginary word that we put inside our head to where we psych ourselves out. I've taken improv class. Improv taught me how to stand up in front of the class on the stage with your scene partner and coming up with a scene and learning to overcome that fear of speaking in front of the class. I've taken dance classes. Dance class taught me by being okay with yourself and learning to move with your body and not being so stiff. And towards the end of dance class, the teacher would divide the class into groups where you have to perform the choreo that you learned. And it's okay if you suck, because we're all there as students and we're gonna get better. All right, I'm gonna wrap this video up real quick because I'm gonna eat real quick, then I'm gonna have to go to class. And I don't have much time. It is currently 4:57. So now after this, I'm gonna take you on with me to go to drop off my supplies at work. And after that, I'm gonna go to improv. Woo! 21 minutes and 3 seconds. We did it. We freaking did it. Right? Crap. Crap. Gotta go. So sad. Yo, we still rolling? Oh crap.